All right. And that's game. GG's. Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be playing Historic Brawl, and today's commander is going to be Codie, Vociferous Codex. So this is probably the most insane Codie list you'll ever see. I've been working on this list for like quite some time now, and I just every day I visit the list, I tweak it a bit, see what's missing, and I finally figured out how to play the list my way. So my way, we are playing the list with an insane Wincon here, and this Wincon is Approach of the Second Sun. Now, the list revolves around basically grinding, removal, survival, and a lot of tutors, right? And a lot of ways to fetch the Approach of the Second Sun and win that way. The list is absolutely insane. You can go on an insane win streak with this list. So far, I think I'm 10-0 on a 10-0 a 10 win streak, and it's been very crazy. So let's break down the list and tell you guys what it does, right? So Codie here, I had a lot of trouble playing Codie because I just didn't know what to do with it, right? I didn't know how to win with it. You can just play Codie and cast spells and get value off of it, but there were a lot of times where, for example, you ran a lot of counter spells and then Codie fetches a counter spell and now it's a dead fetch, right? It's a whiff basically. So I decided to cut all the counter spells except for one, and that one plays an important role as well, which is Supreme Will here. Supreme Will can be a counter spell or it can be a dig spell, and we absolutely rely on dig spells with this list. We have so many spells that dig through our list just so we can basically just makes it easier for us to find our approaches to the Second Sun. So instead of counter spells, instead of just very control heavy, I went the route of like digging, right? We're including a lot of cards that dig. We're including a lot of versatile removal as well, and we're including like some insane top end. Also, this list runs multiple turns as well, so you can this is a basically Codie's turns Approach of the Second Sun kind of list, right? That's the combo and that's the win. So what you do here is basically as shown. We're playing one Brainstorm, it digs. We're playing Otherworldly Gaze, it digs. Slip Out the Back is here to protect Codie. Since we have board wipes in the list, we can make an insane play with Slip Out the Back. You basically go on full control, you play your board wipe first, then you answer to the board wipe with Slip Out the Back. You phase out the Codie, and now it's a one-sided board wipe, and you're getting value off of Codie because Codie triggers right before you slip it, or you know, you phase it out, right? One Thoughtseize is very necessary, one Dig Up as a tutor of choice as well, one Veil of Summer against these very control heavy or counterspell heavy decks, and also black decks that are removal heavy. Fateful Absence for Planeswalkers, versatile removal, like I said. Fire Prophecy, you can actually target your own Codie with Fire Prophecy to cycle something back through the deck and get it back, right? Fire Prophecy is probably the only card in this list that I'm not too sure about, but at the same time, it's pretty good when you open with it, especially when you're playing against a very low curve very low curve commanders that can resolve on turn 1 or turn 2 or turn 3, whatever it is. Fire Prophecy can deal with those early on commanders, right? One Explore, one Into the North, right? Ramp is very necessary. Regrowth plays a very important role. We have a theme here of digging. We have recursion through regrowth and Balaget Recovery. We have just unlimited cycling with this list, right? It's very good. Despark, pretty straightforward. Vanishing Verse, Tyrant Scorn. Tyrant Scorn is a bounce spell / removal for the Codie, so it can play both, or it can play two roles here basically. If the Codie dies multiple times and now it costs 7 or 5 mana to cast, you can just bounce it to hand and cast it for 3. Arcane Infusion digs, and it also has flashback. This would be a pretty decent card to get off of the Codie's trigger. Also, we're playing Expressive Iteration, very straightforward. We're playing Galvanic Iteration too because we have some really good top ends, and we're playing an extra turn theme within the list as well. So Galvanic Iteration can really have your opponent scoop if you're taking 2 extra turns, and sometimes 2 extra turns is all you need, so you can tutor and you cast your second Approach of the Second Sun in that game and win that way, right? So Galvanic Iteration is pretty good. It's probably not that good if you fetch it off of the Codie, but if you have something in hand hand and you haven't cast really, and you have plenty of mana, and you fetch it off of the Codie, you can make some decent plays. Assassin's Trophy, very versatile removal, can also remove lands. Lightning Helix can hit face and also gain life, so versatile removal. Rip Apart, we kind of need it early, or we need it nonetheless, because there are a lot of enchantments and artifacts in Commander, right? Growth Spiral for ramp, Arcane Signet for ramp, Cold Steel Heart for ramp, Mindstone for ramp. Just like Chromatic Lantern, right? And even if Codie says you can't cast permanent spells, we do have permanents in the list, because a lot of times we're either going to phase out the Codie or return it to hand, or not even cast it because we don't need to, so we play our ramp spells and just set up, right? You need to set up. You don't need to cast Codie on turn 3, you need to set up. So if you open with a hand that has ramp, good, right? Play your ramp first. Teferi's Protection is also very, very, very good here. Saloon Division can act as a land, or it digs through the top 6 of your library, and we may reveal an instant or sorcery card, which we have a lot of in this list. It also helps us dig for our necessary Approach of the Second Sun. Like, it helps us dig for everything. So just like Solve the Equation, another tutor in the list, right? It helps us find our Approach of the Second Sun. You'll see how I play this list and play it accordingly. Supreme Will can act as both a counter spell or a dig spell. Soul Shatter for planeswalkers and big stuff that we can't really deal with, mainly for planeswalkers though. Here Balagate Recovery plays the same role as Regrowth, and it can act as a land as well. Deafening Clarion, board wipe, Void Rend, versatile removal that can't be countered, which is very, very good. Riveteer's Charm here does a lot of things, right? It can act as a Soul Shatter, or it can act as a Graveyard Hate card of choice, or you can draw off of it, which is also pretty good. Broker's Charm here to deal with enchantments and draw cards. Chromatic Lantern we talked about. Mastermind's Acquisition here is another tutor of choice. Very, very good overall. You never put something from outside the game into your hand because you have no sideboard, so it's just a tutor here. Supreme Verdict is a uncounterable board wipe that we really, really need. Unleash the Inferno here deals with artifacts, enchantments, planeswalkers, and creatures, which is pretty good. Key to the Archive for ramp, and it can also help us find an Approach of the Second Sun if you get lucky. Time Warp, extra turns. Final Parting is another tutor that can help us find a necessary spell that we might need, or an approach, or a second approach, right, off of our deck, and just win that way. Time Wipe is a very, very good board wipe, since it can bounce the Codie back to our hand and wipe their board, which is pretty good. So even if Codie was like taxed, you can bounce it back to your hand, and then you can recast it for 3 mana. We're also playing Golos, just in case we don't have Codie on the battlefield. Golos is pretty good with all this top end that we have here. If you find an approach that you can cast for 0, and then you find a tutor as well, you replay the tutor that you can also cast for 0, and then you get your approach and you recast your approach, and now it's just game. So Golos is game by itself if you find the right cards, which a lot of times you do. Invert here is another tutor here. We usually cast it for its 6 mana side, which says search your library for an instant card and or sorcery card, reveal them or put them into your hand. So usually we would search for a removal spell and search for Approach of the Second Sun. Removal helps us survive, or maybe search for Teferi's Protection, just so you can stall and you can cast your spell and win. Commit to Memory, pretty straightforward. I mean, you can draw, refresh your hand. It's better for you to draw than for your opponent to draw. Even if your opponent draws, most likely your draw is going to be a lot better, especially when you have mana, because your spells are insane, right? So very good here. Farewell, pretty straightforward. Discover the Formula, draw. Also, it's 6 mana. Karn's Temporal Sundering, it is another extra turns, and since it's a legendary sorcery, you have to have a legendary creature or planeswalker on the battlefield so you can cast this. So we usually have Codie on the battlefield. We get value off of Codie. Casualties of War, another 6 mana spell. Very, very good here. Approach of the Second Sun is our Wincon. Emeria's Call, 7 mana spell. Alrund's Epiphany, 7 mana spell. Emergent Ultimatum, 7 mana spell that we can cast. Also, I like Golos here because it can fetch our World Tree. We also have Vanquish the Horde and Magma Opus. I love Vanquish the Horde because it costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield, but it still counts as an 8 mana spell when you cast it. So if you cast this and you can possibly fetch an Emergent Ultimatum for 0 mana off of Codie. So I love our spell curve, right? We also have a Magma Opus that's an 8 mana spell. You cast Magma Opus, which can help you find Emergent Ultimatum, Alrund's Epiphany, Emeria's Call, Approach of the Second Sun, Casualties of War, all of these, right? All of these. So the highest the spell you cast, for example, you cast an 8 mana spell, you can fetch a 7 mana spell if you find it off the top with Codie. You cast a 7 mana spell, you can find a 6 mana spell if you find it off the top with Codie. So this list for me, when I first started playing Codie, I didn't know how to play the list, right? This is my own creation, my own version. I've spent time and time tweaking this, right? And this is the final version for me. If I was to do anything, I would probably cut Final Parting and run the 3 mana tutor, right? If I'm probably gonna craft the 3 mana tutor. If that's the case, I'm gonna cut this, craft the 3 mana tutor. It's a double black and 1 generic mana. It says search your library for any card, basically put it into your hand, then you lose 3 life, which is fine. I'd probably cut this because it's 5 mana, so it's better for you to have a 3 mana spell. Nonetheless, it's 5 mana, so it can help you find a lot of your like 4 and 3 and 2 mana spells if you cast it through Codie, which is also very good. All you have to pay attention here is your mana. Basically, we're also playing 44 lands, and it's very important in a multicolored deck to just go up on lands. You can't run 40 lands, you can't run 41, 42 lands, you just can't. You need to hit your land drops, you need to hit your colors. We're running a bunch of lands. We're running snow lands here for Into the North, snow basics. We're also running snow dew lands like Highland Forest and Arctic Tree Line that we can also fetch through our ramp spell. And we're also running like Rimewood Falls, my bad, and like a bunch of triomes. We're running Shimmer, Drift Veil, and also Command Tower, World Tree. Pretty straightforward here so far. We're running Pathways and Dual Lands, you know, just a lot of them basically. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Just be very careful. This deck is not a brain dead deck. You need sequencing and you need a lot of thought process. So this has been very fun. I love complex decks like these, and these are my favorite kind of decks. My favorite decks are probably 5-colored lists, and I'm just so happy with how this has been playing out so far. I didn't know how to play it, like I said. I didn't know what to do with it, but I finally figured out that I need to make something happen with this, right? I need to have a game plan in mind, and my game plan is always going to be Approach of the Second Sun with this list. That's how we win, because there aren't a good like instants or sorceries that can make you like big creatures that you can attack with and win the game. So you need a Wincon, and the Wincon is Approach of the Second Sun for me. Now I've been having a blast with the game plan that I have with this list. So I think I've looked as well at every other list. I think this is the best Codie list in my opinion, and I'm sticking by that word because it's so updated and it's so versatile. Like, it's insane. So try it out, let me know what you think. I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay. I have an insane game for you against an elf deck that was very aggressive. We managed to turn the game around and win without even casting Approach of the Second Sun. So keep a watch for that. Like the video, please. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, if you've been enjoying the historic Brawl content. I'm not giving up on standard. It's just going to be a standard one day and then a historic Brawl the other day, or maybe Explorer. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for your support, and I'll see you guys later with another video. Okay, bye. Alright, so we're playing against Nicole Bolas, God Pharaoh. So slow Planeswalker. I do like Mind Stone here, Fateful Absence. I think we keep this. Decent lands as well. We also are going first, so it's pretty good. Huh. Just so we can resolve Codie on 3 and play a tapped land, because we have nothing to do on 3, you know? Guardian Idol. Let's see what happens. They might have removal for the Codie, but we can recast it. Yeah. They're playing a bunch of mana rocks, I'm guessing here. Alright. That's pretty good. Alright, so we're going to use Codie's effect here. We're going to take that out. That's buying us an extra turn. That's pretty good. And that's game. Easy as that. Nice. Okay, we're playing against this Planeswalker here. It's a 3-mana Planeswalker that, you know, untap up to 1 target elf and a random elf. Perpetual gain +1. Seek an elf card. Okay. 3-mana Planeswalker. We have Time Wipe. We have 1 white source. We have Cold Steel Heart. We have Into the North. If we're playing it against an aggressive deck, this is the ideal hand for me. Yeah. Okay. Let's get gaming, I guess. We're gonna name another white here, for the sake of our time wipe.
If you set foot in my woods, our magic bears fruit.
Let's ramp more, I guess. We have 2 red sources. I guess I'm gonna get this, right? Let's see what they got.
You underestimate our strength.
So far, it's pretty interesting. Lightning Helix. Alright. So that we can cast the Helix, right? And hold up the slip out the back. Okay, let's see. They still have plenty of cards in hand.
Harmony with nature is our greatest strength.
Let's see if they want to invest on the board. I think this is going to be our hardest matchup ever. We also need to find a way to deal with that. Deafening Clarion to hand. Alright, so far it's pretty good for them, I guess.
Nature's bounty is a gift to all who respect the land.
Alright, iteration should be decent here. Also vanquish the horde. And lead with the iteration here. We have Void Rand, Golos, and Unleash the Inferno. We have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Alright. To hand. To deck. To exile. What do we kill though? Can we afford to take damage? They have Faceless Haven as well. That can put us out of commission quickly. Man, Faceless Haven was such a clutch draw for them. Okay. That's their value creature. I mean, you have to take it, right? 8, 9, 10, 11. They have 11 damage on the board. Let's see what happens. Maybe we can make a play with the Vanquish the Horde here. Adventurous Impulse, sure. Okay, so they're just searching. What can we do though? Autumn of Augur. There's an additional cost to cast a spell. Reveal an elf card from your hand. Or pay 3. Okay. Alright, so let's put a stop or a full control here. Let's go for auto pay. Let's go for Vanquish the Horde. Auto pay. And let's slip out the back the Codie. Submit. Resolve. Alright. Casualties of War. Such a clutch draw here. I'm just gonna use it to get the land, right? Destroy target land. And we're gonna play this on green as well. Now I'm gonna Balligate Recovery. Probably the Time Wipe or the Vanquish the Horde. Probably the Casualties of War. Resolve. Next, next, pass. Alright, we're still in this. We're trying at least. And let's see what happens. It's still a very decisive game here for us. Cubation Druid. Okay, they pass. That's fine by me. Vanishing Verse is also pretty good here. Alright, we're dealing with their threats so far. We still have a Casualties of War in hand, so we probably don't want to play out their Planeswalker here into a Casualties of War, which is pretty good. That buys us some time at least, but we need to draw better, right? They did play their Planeswalker. Seek an elf card. Okay. Do you have an elf for 1 mana? You do. Nice. Thank you for making this easy for me. Alright. Destroy target creature, land, and Planeswalker. And done. Creature, land, and Planeswalker. We got Rip Apart. Not that it really matters. We also have Magma Opus, which is pretty good. I don't need to Rip Apart, so it can just go away. Tyrite Sanctum. Okay. Augur of Autumn, sure. Okay, 1, 2, and then submit, then tap this, and I guess this. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. They might have protection in hand. They don't. Arcane Infusion should be good for us here as well to help us dig. Alright, that's pretty good. Alright, we're gonna Arcane Infusion here for a D-Spark. And then I'm just gonna pass here. Alright, we're getting somewhere at least. We're trying here. We have another Arcane Infusion next turn. So it says when you cast your next spell, exile cards with lesser mana value. Okay. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, create a food token or treasure token. Sounds good. Alright, they create a treasure token here. They're trying to ramp into something here, I guess. Alright, they put a +1 counter on this. Makes no sense. Let's try to kill it here. Let's put this back. Draw something. Okay, another land. And another land. Okay. Let's Arcane Infusion for something big, hopefully. Nothing. We whiffed. That's fine. Let's play this. And we're gonna pass. So far, we've dismantled their entire game. So far, it's been pretty decent. Oh, okay, well. D-Spark is here to save the day. Alright, let's cycle this. Teferi's Protection and Emiria's Call. Oh. Okay, solve the equation is going to help us look for our approach to second sun. And we also have Teferi's Protection in hand, ready to go. And this game has been insane. This game has been crazy. Can't believe we flipped that around. Toski's fine. Okay. Sure. Okay. Let's play this on white. Cast Approach the Second Sun. Riveteer's Charm. That's game. Man, that's so good. So good. And we have Teferi's Protection in hand. Wow. That's so good. What a game. GG's. Nice. Wow. Okay, we're playing against Kethis, the Hidden Hand. This is a legendary kind of commander, right? Cost 1 less to cast, exile 2 from your graveyard. Each legendary card, you may play this card from your graveyard. Okay, so a lot of interaction with this. It's a 3/4 as well, 3 mana. Do we like our hand? I mean, no red for the Helix, not that it really matters, but we have Veil of Summer and Brainstorm. I guess we tried this out. Okay, so this is going to be black, this is going to be green. Not the most ideal hand, but I honestly did not want to take a mulligan there. Alright, Chevelle. Let's Brainstorm, see what we can find. Okay, these are all pretty good. We said this is going to be our black. I'm going to put this back. Just put the lands back, I guess. We're going to get them anyway. Yeah, sure. Alright, Assassin's Trophy is a good draw here. We can do something about the Kethis at least. You know, it's something. Right, we can also, well, not really, but let's see what they got. Alright, they go for the Kethis here. Sure. Not gonna block with the Chevelle here. What can we get for 1 mana? Alright, this is pretty good, but what do we lead with? I guess we need more green sources. Yeah. I'm gonna play Assassin's Trophy here on the Kethis here. Thoughtseize is a pretty good top deck here. We also have Lightning Helix for the Chevelle here, which is pretty good. We are ramping them, so they might have it next turn. Let's play Thoughtseize. See what they have in hand. Yeah, their hand is pretty insane, right? So they can have a Shaya next turn, which we have D-Spark for. We have D-Spark for Veraska, but Veraska kills our creature, right? A Johnny. Alright, I guess it's Veraska, right? Okay, so that's pretty good. It's a pretty good turn. Alright, they play Kethis again. Sure. At the moment, we have nothing for Kethis here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't even have approach here, so I guess we just... What do we do here? You can play a Johnny for 3. It says legendary spells. Yeah, a Johnny for 3. This is for 4. Have 5 mana. We're just gonna pass here. What does this do? Whenever you gain life, put a +1 counter on Bloodthirsty. Okay. But why are you not playing enough legendary spells? Have D-Spark for the Ashaya, which is not a problem. This is pretty good. They don't have the mana for the Ashaya, so they can play a Johnny here. They can create the Pride Mate, but we can have approach mana next turn, which is pretty good. I guess we can just D-Spark the Johnny here, right?
Everyone belongs in a place that they can call home.
Sure.
My pride grows stronger.
We can wait. Alright, let's use Codie's ability. See what we can top deck with the approach here. Hopefully a fetch spell. Unleash the Inferno. That's pretty good. Let's take Kethis back, I guess, with the Unleash. But over here, what do they do over here? They, nice. Yeah, they don't want to do that, right? Because they see the 0 mana Unleash the Inferno, and their hand is terrible. GG's. Okay. Playing against Snapdack's Apex of the Hunt, right? Double strike whenever this creature mutates, it deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker your opponent controls, and you gain 4 life. 4 mana, it mutates for 5, right? Sounds good. Also, it's a 3/5. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Vanishing Verse is pretty bad against it, but it could be very good against the stuff that it mutates on. I do like this hand. This can be white as well. But we also have Growth Spiral and we only have blue, so that maybe we go green on this one. I'm gonna lead with the Triome here and see what happens. Okay. That's a pretty good draw here for me. I do like the Growth Spiral, but I also like the Vanishing Verse, right? Alright, let's name green here. Another land. Another land isn't bad. But we have one of these lands here. I'm going to put this to the bottom, to be honest. We're running a relatively high land count, so I think we're running 44 lands in this list, because it's a 5-colored list, so... Alright, Null Priest. So they're playing like a creature version here, which can be pretty scary here. Not gonna lie, it can be very scary. So do we go for Codie, or do we try to draw with the Growth Spiral? I guess we try to draw, hopefully find a land with the Growth Spiral. see what they play here. Nice, we found land, but it's a Demir land, which we already have one of. Alright, one more land off the top would be good. Yeah, no white, and we need double white for the time wipe. That's pretty bad. Not gonna lie, that's awful. Alright, we're gonna go desperate mode here for Arcane Infusion. We get Broker's Charm, we don't have the white for. Regrowth just gets us back the growth spiral. Alright, I'm gonna get the Balagate Recovery here and play it as land so we can take an extra turn next turn with Time Warp, right? That's pretty bad for us. Okay. Arcane Signet is good. Alright, Final Parting is not going to do it. This is going to be our white source here, so for now, I guess it's pretty decent. Let's see what they want to do. I want to remove the creature in mid-combat. Alright, we need one more white source. One more. Mutate. Huh. That's interesting. I guess we can't let that happen. I mean, they can mutate, sure, but... Okay. They draw, discard. They didn't want to discard anything, huh? So their hand must be pretty good. Alright, we are taking a ton of damage here, but Chromatic Lantern is also pretty good for me here. Let's see what they want to do, here. I think we're finally going to turn the game around. Sure. Esper Sentinel can resolve. Yeah, we can pay for that. Alright, it worked out. I guess not playing Codie worked out very well for us, because Codie doesn't allow us to play permanents. Next turn we also have Time Wipe, which we can potentially use, but Mastermind's acquisitions here is pretty good. I think we try to resolve the Codie, but they put the Maul on the Esper and still attack us that way. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try to go for the Codie here. Now I'm gonna go for Mastermind's acquisition as a tutor. Can't pay for it, unfortunate, but let's just do our game plan here, right? I think I'm more inclined to either get the... What do we get with this? Probably Emergent Ultimatum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have the Emergent Ultimatum mana. Let's see what we can do here. If they take their entire turn to equip the Maul, they might go for Snapdax here, which we are prepared for, right? Even if they do kill the Codie, that's not a problem, really.
I won't stand by as innocent people are slaughtered. And stay
That's
gone.
fine. Okay. So, we need an extra turn as well, right? And we need a way to deal with the... Alright, so for now, we can get approach, an extra turn, and a soul shatter. Yeah, let's do that. Approach and yeah. Let's see what happens. Probably take the extra turn away, right? Yeah. We do gain 7 life. Which puts them behind. Approach is our Wincon, right? We gave them something that they cannot not put back, right? Which are the double turns here. Can time wipe that. We can definitely time wipe that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. It's not enough mana for the final parting, unfortunately. But I think we are going to have to time wipe that, right? Unless they have protection. They might. Nice, that's pretty good. Alright, we got rid of one problem. Might as well kill them all, right? Just so we won't have to worry about that. Alright, so we're getting close to the approach here. It's just a matter of time, right? We're gonna cast the final parting next turn. We don't even need the Codie, to be honest. They replay Snapdax, okay. It's probably the only thing they have in hand. Supreme Verdict, alright. We're gonna search for with the final parting, and we're gonna fetch our Approach of the Second Sun. And something in the graveyard, right? I guess something I wouldn't want to draw. Everything is good for me to draw here, to be honest. Maybe an Into the North. A 1 to your hand. Put 1 to your hand. Okay, Approach is in my hand. Sure. And next turn's game, so they have to finish us this turn. Right? They need to pump this or do something. Or else it's game next turn. Alright. Even if they gain life, even if they do anything here, I think we just got them. Unless they make an insane combo with Snapdax, it's pretty much done for. Alright. And that's game. GG's. Nice. Okay, we're playing against Muldrotha. Says during each of your turns, you may play a land and cast permanent spells of each permanent type from your graveyard. 6 mana, 6/6. Okay. Alright, we have Lantern, Tyrant Scorn, and Karn's Temporal Sundering. I'm keeping this. We don't... Okay, we have a black source. We don't have a... I guess we have all our colors. Nice. That's pretty good. Alright, so we're gonna play the Chromatic Lantern first. Tyrant Scorn is usually removal / protection for our Codie, right? Alright, this is a pretty decent draw. We can look with this. They're ramping, which is pretty good. They pick black. I'm gonna take this, I think. Because this helps us search for our stuff, right? This is going to be green, and then we're gonna play Chromatic Lantern here. We're gonna pass. So we're playing Codie next turn for sure, and hope that it doesn't get removed. Let's see what they have though. Ornithopter, yeah, they're just ramping here. They have Muldrotha next turn, I believe. And Mindstone, yeah, just a ton of ramp here. Alright. Let's just hope the Codie doesn't get removed. I think their priority is to play their... Yeah, Chupacabra is pretty bad for us here, I think. Sure. Let's replay the Codie. And let's keep putting these lands down. So far, they're not being aggressive at all. So we're not really in a hurry or anything like that. I don't think they even need to play their commander. I think their commander gets played when... Oh, another binding. Yeah, they just really don't want us to have the Codie here. Just fine, I guess. Take action. Sure. Yeah, that's all they got for now. So I guess they don't have the mana for the Muldrotha here. And they use the binding to ramp. Which is pretty decent for them, I think. Let's replay the Codie. Let's just take out all their removal from their hand. They're really not doing anything. They probably have a ton more removal. Maybe replaying Codie was a bad choice. It loses all abilities. Okay. We can bounce the Codie back to our hand, which is something. Sure. But we can still take an extra turn, which is pretty good. Alright. Play this tapped. What do we want to bounce? I guess one of their ramp spells, right? Like the Cold Steel Heart. Bouncing the elixir doesn't really do much for us. Gonna brainstorm. Final parting. These are all pretty good for me, I think. I think these are all pretty decent. Okay. Put the Otherworldly Gaze and this back, I guess. Sure, Solemn Division can come first. Okay. To hand. If we play it for 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, I guess we have to hold up the Veil of Summer, and this is an instant. But also, what I think we do is just tutor, right? We don't even need the Codie, so we're gonna get Approach of the Second Sun, just like we said in the previous game, and then we're gonna get like Fire Prophecy into the graveyard, or maybe into the north. Yeah. Approach of the Second Sun comes to hand. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have Approach and Sullen Division here. We have a way to basically get the Approach, I guess. So I'm not going to play the Sullen Division as a land here. I'm going to keep the Codie in hand here as well. They're not applying enough pressure, so our game plan is working pretty well. Unless they have a counter spell, of course. Which we're ready for with the Veil of Summer, right? So we're not going to cast the Veil of Summer this turn. They're obviously playing a really slow plan here. We have the mana for Approach and Veil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do, I guess. Alright, Kato. Kato's fine.
With the right tools, I can do anything. Now this is a juicy secret.
Alright. Resolve. Miria's Call is also pretty good, but I think we go for the Approach here. Probably play Miria's Call as a land here. Okay, so we draw a card, we have Sullen Division, we can find we can find the approach if we draw a card that leaves us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, next turn we can fetch the approach with the Saloon Division here. Okay, we draw a card.
What do we have here?
They need something like a discard spell, right? They know we have the Codie in hand. They also know that we have the approach. Okay, search your library for a card, enter your graveyard, then shuffle, then return 2 permanent cards. Okay, let's see what they search for. They spent, I guess, Soul Tie mana. It's not good enough. They need a discard spell. That's what they need. What do they get? Gonti, Lord of Luxury. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of each. Exile one of them. Gonti is kind of a problem, right? They kill the Chromatic Lantern. Exile one of them face down to put the rest on the bottom of the library, and any you may look at that. Cast that card as long as it... Okay. But it says look at the top 4, right? Alright, 1, 2, 3. So since we can't cast it this turn, that's game. They know what we're up to. GG's. Nice. Alright, we're playing against Jaxus, the Troublemaker. So this should be a very interesting hand. We can kill the Jaxus with Lightning Helix, plus we have Mind Stone. This is a keep for me. And Time Warp. Nice. Okay. Let's do our thing here. Play Mind Stone. Pass. Probably playing Codie next turn, right? Bloodthirsty Adversary, that's okay. Playing an aggro version of Jaxus, maybe. Let's play a tap land here. Let's see if they have removal for the Codie. Doesn't seem like it. Destroy target artifact. I guess they do. Okay. That's fine. Replay the Codie. Let's see how much removal they really have in hand. Oh man, yeah, they're just gonna copy this. Oh. Okay. Alright, how long can you do that for? That's a problem, so you need to kill that. So our mana is terrible. We only have 1 black source. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's not really enough. Yeah, our mana sucks. Alright, Cavalier Flames. Okay. So far, we're doing pretty bad, right? We're playing against a very aggressive deck. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shatter Skull smashing is a pretty bad sign for us. Okay, they discard Cathartic Pyre. I guess we try to go for the Codie again. Yeah, it does seem like they have something here, but let's just get as much mana as possible so we can cast Mastermind's Acquisition. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we can fetch a extra turn with Codie. But man, if they remove the Codie again, I mean, Mono Red has access to like artifact removal, but it really, the sequencing of like Plundering Barbarian and then Jaxus really hurt us, right? Having to cast the Codie over and over. Each opponent sacrifices a permanent. Okay. That's pretty good for us, I guess. We got Brainstorm, which is pretty good. Alright, so what do we get? We can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can get an extra turn. Or Golos. Golos we can't cast. Yeah, we can get an extra turn, I guess. Despark, dig up. Okay. Let's take that extra turn. And we're gonna dig up. Gonna get a 1 mana spell. I guess there are none. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna get Approach of the Second Sun here. So far, I guess the dig up doesn't really work with the Approach. We have Despark. Italy. We have to get rid of that. And that's game. GG's. Nice.